How's it going? Galore Wrestling Figures here. Welcome to another video. Now, if you saw my video the other day, we were talking about the worst CM Punk figures that have been released, and that video was hard to make. So I think you know what today's video is by the thumbnail and the title. Today we're going to be taking a look and talking about the best CM Punk figures ever released. So of course CM Punk has been getting wrestling figures for over 20 years now. So he's had a fair few figures. Now his Jakks figures, I didn't talk about Jakks in the last video. To me, CM Punk Jakks figures, although they're cool, you know, they've got history to them, the CM Punk. To me, I'm just not too keen on them. You know, it's hard to find them mint condition, and I just feel like while they are, you know, they are quite good. Personally, I'm not too keen on them. But of course, after Jakks, we get to the goodness, Mattel. So of course CM Punk has had a lot of Mattel figures. I think just behind me there's probably about 60 figures behind me on Mattel. So CM Punk first started getting Mattel figures in 2010. Now the first figure I want to talk about is one where if you're new to wrestling figures, you've started collecting in the past year. Because I know a few people that have started collecting in the past year who've got this figure. And it is the Ultimate Edition CM Punk. Not the one coming out, although that does look quite good. The one that we've already gotten, the ringside exclusive. This is an amazing figure. I think I've got 5. I know Ringside are due to be getting them in stock soon, so keep your eyes out for that. Now, to me, this is a good figure. It's amazing. Of course, it's based off Money in the Bank 2011. It's an Ultimate Edition. And what I really like about this figure is, if you know CM Punk, you'll know that he wore this attire quite a few times. You know, he wore it, of course, 2011, 2012, 13, all different looks, you know, with the short hair, the Wolverine style hair, black kick pad. So he wore it a few times, so it's good for fix-ups. It looks good mock. Also, the figure itself looks good. You know, of course, you've got the blowing kiss face and the hands. It's a good figure. Now, my only downside to this figure is the torso. My good friend AJWF, good friend of the channel, he pointed out to me as soon as this figure was released that the torso is too big, and I kind of agree. You know, that's the thing with Ultimate Editions. You know, a lot of Ultimate Editions do have that problem where the torso, the upper torso especially, is too big, but it's not too bad, you know. Of course, he has got the chest tattoo covering. If he had no chest tattoo, then it would be a bit different, but of course, he does have the chest tattoo covering the chest, so the upper torso with the butterfly joints, it's not too bad. And as well, this is a tip for you all. Don't pay eBay scalper prices. I'm seeing this figure all the time on eBay. £100, or obviously dollars, or even over 100, and people are buying it. Why? You know, I think the most I'd pay for this figure is probably 60, and that is on a good day. That's if I'm really wanting one. But don't pay scalper prices, because Ringside are due to be getting them in stock soon, and when Ringside get them in stock, often other distributors get them, so keep your eye out soon. Now, of course, another figure that is a recent one, and some people don't like, I do like it personally, is the Defining Moments. It isn't perfect, of course, you know, there's a few tattoos missing. The stars are a bit too far apart on the trunks. But apart from that, it's good for fix-ups and customs. That's why, you know, it's just a quick one. I do like it. I do really like the figure. And I think I've got 11 Defining Moments now in total, 10 or 11. And then, of course, it's based off the All-Stars Elite. That one right there. It's a cool figure, and, you know, I do really like it. And it's one where I know that we are getting the From the Vault, sort of, we're getting it re-released. From the Vault, he's got different tattoos on the arms, and the head scan is slightly different. I think there's more detail in the beard. But I do really like the figure, and it's one where, if you're a CM Punk collector, of course it's probably based off one of his most iconic moments, which it is, you need to get this figure. Now, CM Punk in AEW, I talked about it in the last video. To me, I really enjoyed CM Punk in AEW. Now, you know, you could ask me what's his best AEW figure. You know, you could say the Unmatched for Chase, the Supreme, which is a good figure. But to me, CM Punk's best AEW figure is his Unmatched 7 LJN. Now, this figure hasn't got any articulation. It's quite basic, you know, he's just got his tights on. But there's just something about this figure, to me, that holds a lot of sentimental value. I'm a big LJN guy. I'm a big fan of the classic WWF LJNs from the 80s. And seeing this figure just as an LJN, it's cool, because after all these years, we're finally getting one. It's cool, but also the fact he's got the messy hair, the face scan isn't too bad. I really like it. You know, I've seen a couple of people do customs with it. It is a basic figure, so if you're not a fan of this figure, you know, that's understandable. But overall, it's a really good figure, and it's one where, if you're a CM Punk fan, you need to get this one. It does look good mock as well, you get the poster with it. But mock, it is a really good one, so it's quite hard to get nowadays, especially mock or even loose. You don't really see it, but if you can see it for under 30, you've got to get it. And another figure that is iconic in CM Punk's career, to his figure, well, his wrestling career and his figure career, and it is just right behind me, the Elite 16 CM Punk. Now, this figure is iconic. This is probably CM Punk's most iconic figure. And I don't have this mock yet. I don't really collect CM Punk figures mock. I do want to get them all mock eventually, but my main focus is loose figures, CM Punk figures. But this figure mock looks amazing, but loose, amazing. Of course, it's based off Money in the Bank 2011. Once again, it's good for fix-ups and customs, but the figure itself is what's more important. That one is pretty much mint behind me. That one. It's pretty much mint. That's what I like about it. But the shirt as well. I know the Elite 16 shirt, the original one, not the Ultimate Edition. That is quite hard to get. And talking of shirts, if Mattel, if anyone's watching this, you need to release the Best in the World 2012 grey shirt. Hopefully we get something revealed at WrestleMania next week or this week about it. But back to that figure, the Elite 16. The shirt is hard to get, but if you can get the shirt, the figure, that is, to me, the best CM Punk figure ever released. When people ask me what the best CM Punk figure is, it's that figure right there. And there's just something about it, you know, it's iconic. The figure's iconic. Everything about it looks good. And it's a good figure. You know, if you're a CM Punk fan, that to me is the figure you want. Not any figure you want, the figure you want. The Elite 16. Now, a couple of, you know, other figures I want to mention. The Best of Pay-Per-View 2012, of course that's based off WrestleMania 28 when he faced Chris Jericho. These were a couple of honourable mentions, the ones I'm about to say. It's a cool figure. I do really like it. I wish they did the entrance shirt with it, but apart from that, pretty much just an Elite 16 repaint. I do really like that, and it's a good figure. You know, it is a bit basic, the attire. However, as a whole, the figure, it's quite good, and I do like it. Another one it's going to be a basic that I mentioned, and it is the Ryback Battle Pack. I can't remember the series in terms of battle packs, they're always weird to remember. But that basic, because this is based off when he faced Ryback. He did wear it another time with black kick pads, but I think he only wore it once or twice. It's a good figure, you know, for a basic. The head scan isn't too bad, but finding that head scan, the original Wolverine style, is hard to find mint. Overall, I do like that figure, and, you know, there's just something about the green and the red. It's a cool figure, and I do really like that one, especially, you know, if you get a couple of them on display with the fix-ups, shirts, accurate, it's cool. Now, one more I do want to mention. One figure I do want to mention, and it's probably one where it's a bit hit and miss, but it's iconic. And it is that figure that is right there. Not the All-Stars or the Elite One. They're both honourable mentions, again, amazing figures. But it's that one on the end. The Straight Edge Society Ringside Exclusive Elite. This Elite, I won't be surprised if they re-releases this as an Ultimate Edition. Of course, Mattel did release this as from the Vault Elite. The re-release is good. However, the figure itself, the original, it's a bit hit and miss because, you know, it's based off... Some people weren't too fans of that era. I was. The head scan isn't perfect, and it's a bit, you know, it's a bit, not a strange looking Elite, but it's a unique Elite. But I do really like it, you know, it's iconic. That's the Elite 16 and that Elite I just mentioned, the Ringside Elite. They're probably CM Punk's two most iconic Elites, his two most iconic figures, in fact. And if you can get this figure, it is still quite rare to get. If you can get this figure mint on display, it does look really good. That figure, for some reason, although, you know, that came out, what was it, 2010, 11-ish? I want to say, was it the first Ringside exclusive? I'm getting confused now. It was one of the earliest Ringside exclusives. I know that. It was 2010-ish. Yeah, that's right. But for some reason, whenever I see that figure, it reminds me of 2016, 17. Back when WWE was slightly changing, and, you know, for years, people, well, a couple of years then, People were chanting CM Punk to come back. But that era, I just remember around that time seeing loads of them elites finally sort of go up in price, but also seeing loads of cheap ones. And that's when 2016, of course, Punk left WWE in 2014. 2015, 16-ish, that's when CM Punk figures were starting to go up, but they were still cheap. And that was, what, 10 years ago now? Time flies. It really does. But that pretty much does it for the list. There is a lot of other CM Punk figures that are amazing. And as I say, CM Punk's never really had a bad figure, so pretty much every single CM Punk figure I own, in its own way, is unique and likeable. And if you want to collect CM Punk figures, now's your chance, because odds are, come this weekend, come Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I think, he'll hopefully have a lot more figures revealed. I can't wait. Let me know if there's any CM Punk figures that you want to get revealed at the WrestleMania reveals in the comments down below. And what's your favourite CM Punk figure? Let me know. Always open to discussion in the comments. So that pretty much does it for this video. Keep your eyes out for, I think, the next video, because that's going to be a unique video. So that pretty much does it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.